Here's 3 ways to make your drums hit harder than your Aunt Janine's corn pudding. Number 1 is bit crusher. One of my favorite ways to add texture and punch to a kick drum is a bit crusher. If you're using any of the mainstream DAWs, it should come with a bit crusher already, but for some reason if your DAW doesn't have a bit crusher, you can go to kilohertz.com and get a free bit crusher along with like 32 other free plugins. So here we have our basic 4 on the floor kick pattern. Sounds good, but we want to add more punch to the kick drum and also some grit, some character on it. Now, there's a million different settings you can experiment with on bit crushers. Most of the time, I like to use a really high clock setting. It gives you a really clean, transparent bit crushing. I went with the quantized dither setting. It adds noise to the signal, and then you can make it into like a more of a stereo field. And of course, you need the hard clipping. The hard clipping gives you that distortion, that punch. Here's a before and after. So it definitely adds more punch to the kick, but it gives you that stereo field noise texture, a little bit of grit, a little bit of character on the kick, so it's not so sterile. All right, number 2, one of my favorite free plugins for distortion is Plasma by Dimethopsy. How do you pronounce this fucking thing? Dimethopsy. Plasma by Dimethopsy. Dimothoxynucleic acid. In the same nature as a bit crusher, you basically have hard clipping distortion and you can add noise to the signal. But this one you can blend 2 different kinds of distortion together. It has high pass and low pass filters built into it. And then you can also change the symmetry of the signal. Here's a before and after. Again, this is very similar to the bit crusher. We're adding just distortion and noise to the signal, but this one has a lot more knobs built into it, and like you can mess with the filtering and the girth settings to get some weird sounds out of it. Number 3 is another free plugin called Beef by Anarchy AutoWorks, I believe. Probably should have looked that up before I made this video. Beef is much in the same nature as the other 2 plugins. It's really saturation and bit crushing. There's a couple different presets you can use on here, but if you want to just get down and just start getting to the nitty gritty, just start twisting knobs and find settings you like. Here's a before and after. Another cool thing you could do to add a little bit of weird noise texture to it is turn up the bit rate here. Again, there's a lot of different ways you can mess with this and tweak the knobs to your desires. So when it comes to free plugins, those are my top 3 plugins right there that add punch and character to your kicks. Try them out. Let me know.